Vaughan's housing market is showing some early signs of life in March. Now, it has not recovered, prices are still down year over year, and the sales numbers, while better, aren't anything to get too excited about. But this month in particular has some data points that are worth paying attention to, and I'm going to walk you through all of it. Hello everyone, my name is Ali. I run a real estate team here in the city of Vaughan, and we're lucky enough to help a lot of people buy and sell in this market every year. I try to take the data and combine it with what's actually happening on the ground level and share it with you in these videos. And if you find it useful, hit the like, get subscribed, and share this with somebody else. If you'd like to work with us, you can book a call with me in the first link in the description down below. Before we zoom into Vaughan, let's take a look at what happened in the GTA in the month of March, because it sets the context for everything we're going to talk about. So GTA-wide, 5,039 homes sold in the month of March of 2026. That's up approximately 2% compared to March of last year. Nothing to write home about, but it is up nevertheless. And if you remember last March, we were deep in tariff talks and the spring market basically never happened. So sales being up even slightly, given everything going on globally right now, it is actually something to note. Here's a number that's most interesting to me. New listings were down 16.7% year over year. We had 17,000 new listings last year and 14,000 new listings this year. And this is now the third month in a row we've seen this trend. And that matters because when you have fewer listings coming to market and basically the same number of sales volume, well, you can guess what happens. Things start to tighten up. The average price across the GTA came in at $1,017,000. That's down approximately 7% from last year. So prices are still lower. Affordability is generally better than it was in 2025. But here's the key nuance. On a month-over-month basis, prices are basically flat. The free-for-all has stopped. Now, whether that's the bottom of the market or just a pause, we'll have to wait and see. When I do have solid proof, I will let you know. Now let's talk about supply for a moment. It's a longer term problem that we're facing that we're not talking about as often as we should. There's a real supply problem coming down the road. Not today and not tomorrow, but medium to long term, the pipeline is dangerously running dry. The government has removed GST on new purpose-built rental construction. Ontario also cut development charges and passed new legislation specifically aimed at getting more housing built and faster, including what they call the missing middle. That's the stuff between a condo and a detached house, townhomes, stacked units, that kind of thing. Now, is that enough, or should they offer more incentives? Honestly, I don't know. And I think anyone that tells you that they do know is guessing, because here's the reality. Announcements don't build homes. Legislation doesn't build homes. The only thing that actually matters is execution. Shovels in the dirt, cranes in the air, that's the only metric that matters. And right now, we're still waiting to see that happen at the scale that we actually need it. All right, so that was the GTA backdrop. Now let's talk about the city of Vaughan. Across all property types in the city of Vaughan, in the month of March, the average price was $1,168,000. Now that's down approximately 6.6% year over year. So buyers are in a better position than they were last year in 2025. But it's also up 1.7% from last month. And that's the same story I just finished telling you about in the GTA. Prices lower than a year ago, but the month-over-month momentum is starting to tick up. The two markets are actually moving together, and that's worth paying attention to. 240 homes sold in March, 24% increase from February. In my opinion, that's a pretty significant increase. That tells me that buyers came back to the market and they were negotiating at the table. Now, 742 new listings hit the market. That's also an increase of approximately 37% from the month prior. But here's the thing, it was actually down 22% from this time last year. So even though it felt busier, there was actually fewer homes available than March of 2025. Average days on market came in at 31 days. That's down approximately 23% from February. So homes did move faster, they did sell quicker than the month of February. Year over year though, that number is up 13%. So even though we were faster than the month of February, it is still slower than the year prior. Let's dive in a little bit deeper and look at each property type in the city of Vaughan. Let's start off with detached properties because this is where things are most interesting. The average price came in at $1,633,000, and that's down 7% year over year, but it's actually up 2.5% from last month. Sound familiar? It's the same pattern as the overall market. There's 109 sales that were reported for detached homes. That's up 33% from February and up 6% from this time last year. That's not a coincidence. Buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for detached homes to become more affordable, well, they're starting to move. Supply is tightening here too. 4.2 months of inventory, which is down 18% year over year. Homes are selling in 26 days on average. That's down nearly 33% from last month, and that's pretty darn fast. If you're a buyer looking for a detached home in Vaughan right now, the window to negotiate aggressively is closing faster than any other segment. Now let's switch gears and take a look at semi-detached properties where there's a completely different story being told. And if you own a semi, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable. The average price was $1,046,000 for a semi-detached property, and that's down roughly 11% year over year, and it's down another 3% from last month. There was only 12 sales reported in the month of March. That's down approximately 20% from February and down 14% year over year. Now look, this is a thin segment. Small changes in volume move the percentages a lot. So take those swings with some context. But the number that really stands out here, days on market. It came in at 48 days on average, up 129% from last month and up 150% year over year. That's significant because semis used to sell relatively quickly. They're sitting significantly longer than anything else in Vaughan right now, even condos. So if you're a seller in this category, pricing isn't just important, it's absolutely everything. If you're a buyer, you have way more room to negotiate here than anywhere else in the city. Let's size down a little bit and take a look at townhomes, where the average price came in at just over $1 million, down 13% year over year, and it's actually the steepest year over year price drop of any segment in the city of Vaughan right now. For buyers, that's real money. You're getting more home for your dollar than you did in 2025. 41 sales in March, that's up approximately 37% from February, though it is down approximately 13% year over year. Homes are selling roughly 29 days, which is faster than last month, but slower than last year. Once again, it's the same pattern we keep seeing. For sellers, that 13% year over year drop is a reality check. You cannot price your townhome like you did in 2025 and expect it to sell. You need to price where the market actually is today, and it will move. If you price it where you wish it to be, then it's just going to sit. Moving on, the last property type is the condo apartment, where there's a lot of inventory, but it's actually moving faster than I expected. Average price came in at just over $600,000, which is down 8% year over year, but up approximately 2% from last month, and that's what surprised me. 68 sales, which is up 24% from February, and actually up another 2% year over year. Condos and detached properties are the only segments in Vaughan where sales are higher than last year, and that's a pretty good sign for the condo market. It took on average 37 days to sell a condo, which is down approximately 13% year over year. So condos that are priced right are moving. The ones that aren't priced right, they're sitting in a 6-month inventory environment, and that's just a tough place to be. Okay, so let's summarize all of this. What does it all mean? Here's the bottom line for the month of March of 2026 in the city of Vaughan. The market is showing early signs of life. Buyer activity picked up across almost every segment this month, and the GTA-wide data, it tells us that it isn't just a Vaughan thing. It's a broader trend. The dots connect. The GTA tightened in the month of March, and Vaughan tightened right along with it. Prices are still down across every single property type year over year. Buyers still have real negotiating power today. The question is just how long that lasts. Detached inventory is tightening fast. If new listings keep coming below last year's levels and sales hold where they are, prices are going to find a floor. It could be soon, it could be later. I'll tell you when I see it confirmed in the numbers. Now, if you're buying, the spring window might be as good as it gets. Affordability is better than it's been in a while, and competition, well, it hasn't fully returned yet. So don't wait for the market to confirm what the data is already telling you. And if you're selling, well, you need to price right. Homes priced correctly are moving in under a month in the right segments. Homes priced at 2025 values, well, they're sitting and they'll continue to sit. The days on market for semi-detached properties alone should tell you everything you need to know about what happens when you get pricing wrong. The next 60 to 90 days in Vaughan could look very different than the fall market. Stay informed and stay strategic. If you want a personalized read on what this means for you and your specific situation, book a call through the first link in the description down below. Thanks for watching. Hit like, get subscribed so you don't miss next month's update. Drop your questions in the comments. My name is Ali, and I'll see you next time.